Today we're going to talk about balance and fall prevention, which is mainly something that is addressed by physical therapy. Why is balance important to me? Okay, a lot of people say, well, I'm getting older, my balance is getting worse, that's just part of life, right? Well, to a degree, that's true. Balance does get worse as we age. Our muscles get weaker, our reaction times slow down, but there's things that we can do about it. But again, why is it important to me? So I put some stats out here just to kind of put some concrete numbers to how relevant falls are in your guys' age group. So 1 out of 5 falls results in a serious injury. So that's meaning a broken hip, a broken arm, or a head injury. It requires you to go to the hospital and stay in the hospital and have a long recovery process out of that. 1 out of 5. I say that because a lot of people say, well, I've had some falls, but I never have a big fall. Or it was just a little fall. And so what I say is you got really lucky, okay? And you're continuing to get lucky. And it only takes 1 out of 5 for you to end up with a big, serious problem on your hand. And unfortunately, a lot of people can even probably in this room can attest to this. Once you have a big fall, your fear of doing things is really hard to kind of get over. And to recover from something like a broken hip is a long process. And a lot of people don't feel like they ever get back to 100%. So yes, if you have a fall, yes, if you hurt yourself, we can help you get back some of your independence. But our main priority here is to kind of see what we can do before we have a fall to prevent something from happening in the future. So each year, 2.8 million older adults are treated in the emergency room for fall-related injuries. 2.8 million. I mean, that's a lot of people, okay? And these stats are actually from about 5 years ago, so from the CDC. So when they come out with new stats, those might even be higher now that we're having way more baby boomers come into their Medicare age. So over 800,000 of those are hospitalized because of their fall. So you may have a fall and have a bruised arm, or you banged, cut your head or something, but 800,000 of those end up in those serious category, okay? And that's what we're trying to prevent here. Each year, at least 300,000 older adults are hospitalized for hip fractures alone. One of the most common big injuries after a fall, most likely because of falling sideways and landing on your hip. The thing about hip fractures is most of the time you have to have a hip replacement after you have a hip fracture, depending on where it is. But regardless, it most of the time requires surgery, and that's a big recovery process. More than 95% of hip fractures are caused by falling. So hips don't fracture normally. You don't hear people walking down the street and they say, oh, ouch, and their hip broke. You know what I mean? It's mostly because of falls. And so when we talk about how do we reduce our chance of having a big fracture like that, we're talking about fall prevention. And so that's what we're here today to talk about.